Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. If you've seen one of our previous videos, we were tackling tarpaulin and dealing with plastic and desensitizing, and I promised a part 2, and here it finally is. So this was the first time that she'd seen tarpaulin in quite a few months, so she's just checking it out. We've made sure to secure all the corners so it doesn't blow up in the wind. It's quite a miserable day. First I just tried to encourage her to step on it, and you could see she tried it, made a sound. That's alright, I reassured her. And then I decided to do a bit of a loop, so there's some kind of momentum. Like that, and again. She stepped on it, and instead of asking her to walk across the entirety of it, just to do a little corner, so it's just 2 steps. So in order to gain her confidence here, I was basically trying to just make it part of the walk. And it's good because she's checking it out, so although she's trying to see if it's edible, she's a bit hesitant, but not in a fearful way. You see, she's not rushing across it. She's not really worried about it. She just knows that it makes more of a sound when she walks over it. And then I change direction so that we don't keep going the same way and repeating the same thing. Basically, in everything that we do, when she does it correctly, I'll then repeat it once more to make sure it wasn't just a fluke, and then we change it up a bit. So she was quite hesitant this way, which is why I walked on it to start with, but you see she was more than happy to walk across the entirety of it, which is fantastic. Gave her a pat, and then we carry on. It's easy, there's no need for a whip here. I'm swinging the rope a bit just to encourage her to move forwards. She's in quite a lazy mood anyway. So she's checking it out, but this was when she didn't stop, so she's quite happy to keep going. And it's great, although her head's down, she's not really hesitating. So this time I was trying to get her to speed up a little bit. And she's doing it, she's quite happy. So we progress from just a couple of steps to then, being able to do an entire lap with a tarpaulin. Because you don't want to just keep doing the same thing again and again and again, because again you run the risk of every time she sees tarpaulin and she takes a step on it, she'll think that she's just meant to stop. So again we switch sides, and we'll try going over it twice. I think at this point as well she was a little bit bored, because what we've been doing lately is more working on a canter and confidence with the saddle. So this is something actually quite simple to her. But we don't really do a lot of just walking. And I tried to keep the lunge rope as loose as possible, because you're not really supposed to drag them around. But it's finding that compromising of how to encourage her to walk on. So here I just wanted her to get into trot, which you can see is quite lazy, because then the next step is to try and trot over the tarpaulin. It was quite difficult to get her into trot on this day because she was just very, let's say, relaxed rather than lazy. You can see I'm spinning the rope quite a lot and she really isn't that bothered. She knows what she's supposed to do, but she'll only really take it seriously normally if we have the lunge whip, but I didn't want to bring the lunge whip out because I didn't want her to rush over the tarpaulin. I wanted it to be a really low energy session. So again, we're working on the trot away from the tarpaulin so that that's what we focus on and make sure it's correct before we bring in something else. But you can see as well that she's really not paying very much attention to me at all. She's more interested in what's going on around. But that's the risk of if you're not engaging with them too much. So because we want it to be low energy, that then means that it is chilled out and she's not really fussed about it. She knows that I'm not going to ask her to canter now or jump over anything. So the first step was to try and get her to go over in a quicker walk before asking for a trot. And then I used the momentum of the slight downhill to ask her to trot. And then I was quite surprised actually because she did it straight away, which again means that the preparation part of introducing her to it and letting her figure it out meant that actually there was nothing for her to be worried about. And I was surprised that she didn't rush, and I was surprised she didn't stop because it's quite loud. Again, you can see she's really not bothered by it, which is brilliant. And then because she did it correctly 2 ways on that wearing, we decided to switch it up and see if she'd go downhill, which again, she's always less confident going downhill. So I just wanted to start with an enthusiastic walk, which instead I got this. And at this point Donkey was also interested in what was going on and why we were just staying around this blue piece of plastic. And the interesting thing about him is he's very brave unless you're the one asking him to do something. So I kind of had to use Carrie there to push him out the way. But it's alright, they get on well, they know what they need to do and where they need to stand. So trotting uphill is more effort for her, but then I needed her to trot for longer because, as you can see, immediately she hesitates and went back into walk. So I also ran with her a little bit to try and keep up the momentum, but that didn't really work either. And you can see that I am pulling on the rope, which again is why I say it's not ideal, because it doesn't really work. You can't drag a horse somewhere. And again, I was tempted to get the whip out, but I still want her to listen to me, whether I have the lunge whip or not. I think the important thing is also not to give up. So this, I'm constantly asking for a trot. And I'm not giving up until I get a trot, which means we'll have to keep doing it again and again and again. See, she wasn't very happy there, but we carried on, and then we got it. And then you give them a lot of praise. So, especially when it's something that doesn't require a lot of energy, meaning they're not going to get too worked up, it's worth to just keep asking them and keep going for it, not to just settle with it. So see, already there's a huge improvement, because even though Donkey was there, she was happy to carry on trotting. And it was brilliant. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.